So, have you ever struggled to understand the emotions of your spouse? Well, today we talk to married couples about how to understand each other. Hello, and welcome to Living Life Strong, where I give you tips about how you can happen to your life instead of your life happening to you. Look, in marriage, we have emotions that we need to be able to understand, but also we need to understand the emotions of our spouse. See, emotions are not something you should fear in marriage. They actually help us to connect to one another as a couple and actually motivate us toward actions as well. And so we shouldn't ignore them or deny them. We should actually work together as a couple within our marriage to understand those emotions. And so maybe one of you is a little bit more emotive. You're a little bit more emotions. You express your emotions more. But maybe you're married to somebody who's not super emotional or withholds their emotions. And you see, a healthy couple is going to be able to express their emotions in a way that they're comfortable, but at the same time that they don't fear or deny or withhold sharing their emotions as well. How you really feel that you have a trusting relationship within your marriage where you can say, well, I'm feeling this and this is the reason why. See, that's the goal that we want to get to. And so you want to have the ability to understand yourself, but also others. And that idea has been tagged with the term emotional intelligence, that you can understand not only yourself and your own emotions, but you can also read other people's emotions and attempt to help to understand those. And your marriage is going to be stronger when you understand your own emotions first, and then you value your spouse enough to want to understand their emotions as well. And so these are the two sides of emotional intelligence within a marriage: your ability to understand yourself and how you feel, as well as how your spouse feels. And understanding yourself and your own emotions are very important. However, you're not a healthy spouse if you only understand yourself. A healthy spouse and a supportive spouse will say, yes, I need to understand why I feel how I feel, but I also have to recognize that my spouse has feelings and emotions as well. And I want to understand those also. An emotional intelligence, EQ, is different than IQ. And so hopefully you don't have to choose one of them, but if you had to choose one, you would want to prioritize emotional intelligence over IQ or intellectual intelligence. I mean, being smart and intellectual is great, but I know a lot of super smart people that are still extremely lonely or in a very unhealthy relationship just because they don't understand the emotional side of everything. They don't understand themselves, and they certainly don't understand the emotions of their spouse. So the idea is that a healthy marriage says that we value each other enough to make our marriage as healthy as it could possibly be. And so being able to articulate how we feel, yes, but also giving our spouse the space to say, yes, I understand how I feel. Here's how I want you to know how I feel. And so then we want to grow together in that. And so this is in the Bible. When God first put man and woman together in Genesis 2:22, God made woman from the rib of man, brought her to him, and it says that the man exclaimed, he was happy, at last, this is one flesh. This is bone from my bone and flesh from my flesh. She will be called woman because she's taken from man. And he was super excited that he had been given a helpmate. And God's intent from the very beginning was that they would become one. Because in verse 24, it says, this explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife. And then it says this, that the two are united into one. And that's not just talking about marital relations, intimacy, physical oneness, but it's also talking about emotional oneness, that they are brought together as one. And so then the question becomes, are you practicing? Are you learning to understand the emotions of your spouse? Yes, they can be totally different because we're all wired different, but I want to encourage you, lean in. Study your spouse. You love them that much. They are that valuable to you that you can study them and begin to understand them. Don't just dismiss their emotions. Don't just ignore how they feel. Begin to understand them, and you will immediately strengthen your marriage relationship. Have a great marriage and live life strong.
forget to subscribe and follow Living Word on social media. We post content each and every week, and you don't want to miss out. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and our Instagram, and make sure to turn on notifications for all three, so you'll receive the latest news, updates, and content right at your fingertips.